Nothing frustrates me more than when someone who so easily could be confident is not. And I try to drill it into their brains that there's just this one thing. This is the only one difference between you being confident and you being insecure. This is the only habit, the only thing you need to know. And it's not all the things that you think you need to do. It's not like becoming the hottest version of yourself or becoming the most successful version of yourself. There's literally one habit. And I taught it to myself when I was 12 years old. And because of that, I've always been confident. It was just something I made the decision to do because I couldn't handle not being confident. I genuinely don't understand how anyone can go about their lives feeling insecure. It's probably one of the worst feelings you could have. It's what makes me so angry when people say you have to be perfect, you have to be 10 out of 10 for like a man to think that you're attractive. And even for men, thinking that they have to be, you know, super hot or successful in order to be confident. It's just like, oh, you're ruining it. Like, you're ruining it for everyone. If you internalize that belief system, that is going to be the thing that ruins your ability to be confident. And it's also going to be the thing that ruins your ability to be hot and successful. I don't know if you saw one of my last videos where I was talking about a certain someone who's a psychologist, and she was saying that guys won't think that you're attractive unless you're top tier. Like, you have to be a 10 out of 10 in order for guys to think that you're attractive. It has nothing to do with your personality. That pissed me off. That drove me insane because I felt so bad for all the girls that do listen to her for advice. What are you even saying at that point? Like, we're in the world of plastic surgery, right? Like, we're in a place where we're comparing ourselves constantly to people, financially, emotionally, in terms of attraction. We see it all over the internet. Like, we're seeing the most gorgeous people on the planet on the internet. And then not only them, but the people who have been edited. So there is no possible way to make yourself perfect. You're never gonna do it. And what does that even mean? It's so subjective. Like, you're gonna be chasing your tail for your entire life if you think that there's anything external that you could do to create confidence for yourself. On top of the fact that everyone has different preferences. Like, someone that you find a 10 out of 10, your best friend might be like, I don't really think so. And not everyone is interested in the guy that has the most money or the girl that looks like a Barbie doll, you know? Like, everyone likes something different. Like, Drake was just saying he wants to be with a goth girl. Like, okay. Now all the girls that have got all this work done and look like a Barbie, they're gonna be like, wait a second. It's like, if this was the case, then guys would cheat up. They wouldn't constantly cheat down. I'll tell you the habit, because that's like a little bit more logistical. But I really need you to get this through your head. Like, you need to, for one, understand that not having confidence will ruin your life, and that having confidence will completely transform your life. And I also want you to think about all the people in your life, whether you're a man or a woman. Now, generally, like, I'm giving advice to women, but my viewers are 50-50 right now. So come on in. I have all the advice for all of you. Think about the person, like people that you've been attracted to in the past. Are they a 10 out of 10? Or was it just something about them? Is it just something about them that just draws you to them? Now think about the people that are successful that you know. What is it about them? What is it about them that drove them forward, that drove them through their failures to get to where they are? There's something about these people, and it is literally one thing I am telling you. So I will tell you how I figured this out at the ripe age of 12. That sounded weird, but whatever. So I used to be extremely insecure about my looks. I really was not a good looking person. Like, even right now, like, I've worked really hard to become a better looking version of myself. Not to say that I don't like work on myself. I've even had a little bit of work done. I had a little nose job, although he didn't even do a good job. I still have the bump there. I have some lip filler, and I got a little like eye lift here, but it was like very much not traumatic. Other than that, I dye my hair, and I wear makeup. But when I sit and compare myself to other women, or when I see myself on camera, I'm like, oh, start to do that, right? You're always going to start to do that. But I'm never the person that's going to say, I need to keep it going. I need to, like, more plastic surgery, more. Like, I'm not going to get my it's done. That's not happening. I know there's plenty of people in the world that would think I would look way better if I did that. I'm not doing it. I don't care. I don't need to be at your standard of beauty, because everyone's standard is different. So with that being said, because I don't want you guys to be like, oh, well, clearly you've had something done, because I always get that comment. Okay, 12 years old, I'm starting to realize I'm getting bullied. You know, the boys are making fun of me. I'm too pale. I look like a rat, whatever it is. You know, it starts to feel bad. And I'm like, you know, I would just feel, I would look at myself in the mirror and I would say bad things to myself. Your nose is too big, you're ugly. And I'll never forget this day just looking in the mirror and being like, why, how would I talk to myself like that? And that day at 12 years old, I made a decision. I don't care. I will never talk to myself like that. I am never going to make myself feel that way. Nothing changed in my appearance at all. I still was like pretty ugly compared to everybody else, but it immediately gave me a massive amount of confidence. Now, I was very young at the time, so making that decision and then catching myself and changing that habit of thinking was not that hard because I didn't have 30, 40, 50 years of rewiring of my brain to do. I was just a kid. However, it is a habit that I continued with for the rest of my life. It's been, I'm not going to tell you how long it's been since I was 12 because you don't need to know. Any single time I catch myself slipping and I'm saying to myself, I look so ugly, it looks so stupid. I'm like, no. Like, you know what? You just put on your makeup and you're going to be hot. And you know what? It doesn't even matter because you're like, you would never want to be anyone else. That's another huge, huge realization that I came to at that really young age is I understood that confidence wasn't just about how you look. It's also, it's you. It's your being. Like it is the decisions you make. Even the fact of making a decision to never talk down to myself made me more confident because I was so proud of being that emotionally intelligent as to not let other people's opinions of me affect my happiness. That made me confident. And then it stacks from there. You almost become addicted to doing things that make you proud of yourself. Even if it's not something you're physically doing, it's just a mindset that you're having to protect yourself. Because once you have that, you're always going to protect that. Because you're starting from up here, you're going to feel so good. You're not going to want to fall down from there because you notice it. It feels awful to go from being a confident person to feeling insecure. The second that insecurity creeps in, you're just like, whoa, no. What am I thinking right now that I'm allowing myself to feel like this? Because that is the choice. It's just a very hard choice to make when you're very used to talking down to yourself. So I sidetracked, but the other thing I was going to say is that you're always doing things where you're deciding the person that you want to be. And sometimes it's difficult decisions, but you have to always want to be you. You have to never want to trade places with anyone because you can't look at someone like Kylie Jenner, for example, and be like, oh, she's so gorgeous. I wish I looked like her. You can't just do that. You have to also have her entire life experience. Like you have to be her. Like if you ever find yourself in a place where you wish you were someone else, you're not in a good place. And it is not because you do want to be that other person. Everyone has problems. Everyone has issues. If you went inside of her brain, I'm sure she's a miserable person. I would never want to be her. I'm sorry. Like, that's great for her. Everything that she has, she's a gorgeous girl. I'm sorry. I want to be me because I have built this version of myself brick by brick, even when it's very hard decisions. And I would never want to be anyone else. Like, you have to not ever want to trade places with anyone. So if you are the type of person that is insecure, it has nothing to do with what you look like, what people think about you, what you've done with your life. It is because of how you are talking to yourself. And that's why I say it's a habit, because that is only a habit. Your brain is wired to do what you've been doing already. So there might have been a reason that you've been talking down to yourself. Maybe you were raised in a way that, you weren't raised to be confident. I am lucky enough that I was raised by people that told me to be proud of myself, that gave me that value. So that's something that must have triggered something in my brain to understand the fact that I need to be proud of myself. I need to be confident in myself. I'm not going to let other people push me around or determine how I'm going to feel about myself. So you might not have had that. You might have had parents or people in your life that put you down and never said to you, hey, you should be proud of yourself. But you should be proud of yourself. Everyone has something that they can love about themselves. And if you can't find those things to love about yourself, everyone's going to feel that off of you. It feels as bad as you feel about yourself is as bad as other people are going to feel around you. And that is something that you also start to sense. It feeds more into your insecurity when you feel like, oh, people don't love me as much. People don't want to spend as much time with me as I want them to. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but being around very insecure people is difficult because no external person from you can change the way that you feel about yourself. That has to be coming from you. So because your brain is so good at maintaining that habit, the effort is going to come in listening to every single thing that you say to yourself. Like, you have to treat yourself like your own best friend. You have to treat yourself like a child. And I remember, like, my mom gave me this example. This is probably another big reason why this came to me at such a young age, because I remember she would say to me, if you tell a little kid a scary story at night, they're going to be scared. They're going to be scared of the dark. They're going to be scared of under the bed. That's how you have to treat yourself. But if you tell that little kid, everything's fine, everything's safe, they're going to feel good and they're going to go to sleep happy. You have to treat yourself like that little kid. You have to treat yourself like your best friend. If you had a best friend and you were like, you're actually really ugly, that hurts. Like, the closest people to you, you're going to internalize how that feels. Now imagine it's coming from your own thoughts and you're telling yourself, you're ugly. I don't even want to say it out loud. I'm not even going to say it to you because you're gorgeous, you're amazing, and no one can take that away from you. When you wake up in the morning, listen to your thoughts. When you're brushing your teeth, when you're getting dressed, when you're hanging out with people, it's going to take so much effort at first just to listen. And then it's going to take effort to change the thought pattern, because you're going to have to go from, oh my God, I look so ugly right now, to, it doesn't matter, I'm hot, people love me. And that's probably going to be a leap. Now, this was another thing my mom taught me. You have to take it a little step, like one step at a time. Instead of going from, oh, I'm so ugly, no one will ever love me, you have to bring it somewhere more neutral, a little easier. Like, I'm not ugly. That's not what's important. I want to be happy. That's a good one. Focusing on, like, the emotional place that you want to be in is a better start for someone if you're having a really hard time getting yourself to the point where you're not talking down to yourself. At least say to yourself, I'm not going to say that to myself anymore. I'm not going to talk to myself like that because I love myself. That's a great start. Now, it's going to take some time. It's going to take at least a week or so to start getting this habit down in your brain. But once it becomes a habit, that's going to be your new subconscious pattern of thinking. You're never going to have to put effort into this anymore. That's why people who seem like naturally confident, they're not. It's just like they're so used to talking to themselves in a positive way that there's just no other way for them. Even if you have like a little bit of a negative thought, it's just like, oh, no, you know what? Ignoring that, moving on. And that's what's going to happen to you. Like, please believe me that that's all it takes. Like, so many people are just like, don't fully believe me. And I'm like, just do it. Like, I just, please, if I could teach you anything, just be nice to yourself. The other thing, everyone can have a makeover and make themselves look like the best version of themselves. And that's something that a confident person will actually do. That doesn't have to be coming from your insecurities. That's not coming from a place of, I'm so ugly, I need to change something about myself. It's, no, you're telling yourself, I'm hot, I'm desirable. Let me show the world how hot and desirable I am. Let me experiment. Let me see how hot I could look. I've spent so many hours of my life learning makeup and I'm still not done, because in my mind, it's like, I could be hotter, I could be hotter, I could be hotter. I could be more successful. That's the other thing. You're blocking any kind of success from your life if you are telling yourself that you're not successful, because you're not going to keep moving forward. You're not going to keep taking risks. A person that is confident in the fact that they're going to be successful, even if they've literally never been successful in their lives, is going to keep moving forward every day. But a person that's insecure and a person that's talking down to themselves and saying, I'm never going to be one of those people that's successful, what? You're obviously not going to try and do anything if that's your belief system. But that knowing, that confidence in yourself that says, I'm going to do it, I'm going to make it, that's what's going to keep you going every day. That's what's going to make you take opportunities that someone who's too insecure is not going to take, because you're going to tell yourself, you know what, I could do it. If anyone could do it, I could do it. Because you always have to start from something that you haven't done before. How would you know? How would you know you'd be successful? Like I had never done content before. I had never counseled people before, but I decided I was just going to do it. You always have to step outside of that comfort zone, and based on your inner dialogue saying, yeah, you know what, I could do that. That is what's going to push you past your resistance to try, because it's always scary to put yourself out there. But a confident person is going to say, you know what, I could do it. And if I fail, it doesn't matter, because it's not going to shake my confidence, because there'll be something else for me. And any other video I hear, if you say it's anything else, I don't want to hear it, because this is all that it is. No amount of plastic surgery is going to make you confident and desirable. So please don't cut yourself open endlessly trying to get to a point where you're a 10 out of 10 because people are telling you that you will only be desirable and you'll only be confident if you look like everybody else. And do not listen to anyone that says a man is only attracted to a girl that's 10 out of 10. Telling you right now, my whole high school experience, after I decided, you know what, I'm a confident person, I swear I was ugly. I swear to you I was ugly. And yet every guy, all the popular kids were hitting on me. And I always had a boyfriend. And I would literally think to myself, this is weird. Why do guys like me? And that sounds like hella pick me. So please don't come for me for that. But I just realized it's because I was confident. No one had to feel uncomfortable talking to me. They could just feel present with me because I was going to be present with them, because I'm not insecure. And I'm not going to let anything that they say shake that in me. And it's just that confidence that's going to draw people into your life, and it's going to draw opportunities in your life, and it's going to make you take them. So please try it for me. Even if you don't want to do it for yourself, try it for me. Just start being nice to yourself. Love you.